Greetings, friends. This is Vintage Wheels Chronicles channel, and today we have a very special episode dedicated to one of the most iconic cars in the world, the Ford Mustang. This is the story of how the car became a true legend, epitomizing speed, freedom, and the American dream. Let's dive into the details. The story of the Ford Mustang is not just a narrative of the car's creation, but a true saga spanning more than half a century of innovation, triumph, and cultural change. The Mustang has become a symbol of an era, an icon of automotive design, and the American dream. Launched by Ford in the mid-1960s, this car was destined to become a legend from the very beginning. Let's dive into the details of this fascinating story. The birth of a legend. The early 1960s was a time of significant change in the U.S. auto industry. Economic growth caused cars to become more than just a means of transportation. They became an expression of individuality and a symbol of success. Young people who had grown up on the post-war wave of prosperity were looking for something new: compact, fast, and stylish cars. Ford's then Vice President, Lee Iacocca, caught on to this trend and suggested creating a car that would appeal to the younger generation and be affordable to everyone. In 1961, work began on a new project, which was later codenamed T5. The development was based on the principle of modularity. The car had to be affordable, but offer ample opportunities for customization. This meant that buyers could choose different engines, interior and exterior elements, which made each Mustang unique. The car's name, according to one version, came from the wild Mustangs, a symbol of the American will to freedom. The second version says that the car was named after a World War II fighter jet, the P-51 Mustang, which also epitomized speed and power. Whatever the case, both of these symbols are closely associated with American culture, which played into the marketing campaign. The first entry into the arena. The long-awaited moment came on April 17, 1964, when the Ford Mustang was first introduced to the public at the New York World's Fair. Ford expected a positive response, but the success exceeded all expectations. Over 22,000 cars were ordered on the first day alone through dealerships, and by the end of the year, over 400,000 copies were sold. Mustang was available in two versions, coupe and convertible, with a base engine of 2.8 liters and optional V8 of 4.7 liters. What made the Mustang so popular? It was a car that offered freedom of choice. You could buy an inexpensive base model, or you could invest in a powerful engine and sporty accessories. The Mustang was the first car that truly allowed the buyer to be the designer of their own car. Plus, its stylish looks, long hood, and short rear overhang made it one of the most attractive cars on the road. A cultural phenomenon. Very soon, the Ford Mustang became an integral part of pop culture. In 1964, it appeared in the movie Goldfinger with James Bond, which gave it extra attention from the audience. The Mustang began to be purchased by celebrities such as Elvis Presley and Frank Sinatra. The car quickly became a symbol of freedom and speed, associated with the culture of pony cars, compact but powerful sports cars aimed at a young audience. In parallel, Ford continued to develop the Mustang lineup, constantly adding new options and improving the performance of the car. In 1965, the first hot version appeared, Shelby GT 350, created on the basis of Mustang by the famous engineer and racer Carroll Shelby. It was a more powerful racing version that made the Mustang a favorite on the tracks. Under the hood, the Shelby GT 350 had a 4.7-liter V8 that developed up to 306 horsepower, making it one of the fastest cars on the road. Muscle cars and racing. The late 1960s was a golden era for American muscle cars, powerful cars with big engines. The Ford Mustang was at the center of this era. In 1969, the company released the Mustang Boss 302 and Boss 429, two cars designed specifically for Trans Am and NASCAR racing. The Boss 302 was powered by a 5.0-liter V8 engine and was designed to win on the Trans Am circuit The Boss 429, on the other hand, was a true beast with a 7.0-liter engine and about 375 horsepower. These cars not only gained respect among speed enthusiasts, but also became icons of motorsports. The Boss 429 was so powerful that it was often used in drag racing, where it was important to accelerate as fast as possible in the least amount of time. Changes of the 1970s. However, the 1970s brought new challenges for the entire American automobile industry. The 1973 oil crisis and rising fuel prices meant that powerful and voracious cars began to lose popularity. Increased environmental regulations and new safety standards also put pressure on manufacturers. In 1974, Ford released the Mustang II, a compact and more fuel-efficient version of the famous car. It was based on the Ford Pinto platform, was lighter, and had smaller engines to meet new market realities. Although the Mustang II was commercially successful, it was criticized for losing the spirit of a true muscle car. It was no longer a symbol of speed and power, but had evolved into a compact car with an emphasis on economy. However, it was a necessary step for the Mustang to continue to exist in the new environment. Revival in the 1980s. By the early 1980s, Ford realized it was time to return the Mustang to its former glory. In 1982, the Mustang GT was born with a 5.0-liter V8 engine, and once again caught the attention of speed and power enthusiasts. During this period, the Mustang became known as a car with an excellent price-to-performance ratio, attracting a new audience of car enthusiasts. The retro design era. In 1994, the Mustang again went through a major refresh, receiving a design inspired by classic 1960s models. The new SN95 Mustang was modern, yet reminiscent of its storied past. In 2001, Ford released a special Bullitt version, created in honor of the famous movie Bullitt, with Steve McQueen, in which the main character raced a dark green Mustang fastback. This car quickly became a real icon among collectors, and its minimalist design and powerful engine made it popular among new generations of car enthusiasts. Mustang in the 21st century. By 2005, the Mustang had undergone another major update, receiving a retro design reminiscent of the classic models of the late 1960s. This was the fifth generation of the car, which became one of the most successful. The design incorporated elements of past models, such as a long hood, aggressive grille, and massive taillights. In 2015, the Ford Mustang became a global model, and its sixth generation brought independent rear suspension, modern engines, and a host of new technologies such as multimedia and safety systems. Today, the Mustang remains one of the most popular and recognizable cars in the world, staying true to its heritage while adapting to modern demands. Thanks for being with us on this fascinating journey through the history of the Ford Mustang. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and press the bell so you don't miss new episodes of Vintage Wheels Chronicles. Leave your comments. Which Mustang do you remember the most? See you soon, friends.